DC. This is Luke with Hot Wax and Cool Vinyl. Welcome back. Unless this is the first time you're viewing my channel, then welcome. So the A to Z thread that is been floating around the vinyl community is really cool, and so I thought I'd jump in on this one. And like everyone else, I'm gonna kind of do my own little spin on it. I know some are, hey, A to Z favorite records or favorite bands. So I'm going to do a little mixture of the both. Some happen to be my favorite albums, some happen to be favorite bands. And it just kind of like coalesces into an A to Z. I don't have any X. So we're going to pretend that X doesn't exist in the alphabet for my video. Everybody else, yeah, but for my video, there is no X in the alphabet. X-ray is just Ray. Okay, so let's start. First up, A, Cannonball Adderley. This is Sharpshooters. Not necessarily my favorite album. It just happens to be the one I grabbed for Adderley. Cannonball Adderley is a jazz saxophonist. He's got a lot of wonderful albums and a lot of great records. He's even got some 70s fusion pseudo-funk that he did, but I'm much more attracted to his earlier works where he did a lot of hard bop and such. So A, Cannonball Adderley. B is going to be Boston. Favorite album, favorite band, and just to kind of surmise a little bit on these, the way I kind of broke it down was as I went through the alphabet, which albums or songs jumped out in my head right away, and that's kind of where I went and grabbed it. Because if you're like me, and most of us music fanatics are, favorite today is not going to be my favorite next Thursday. It's not going to be my favorite 20 minutes from now, you know. Adderley could have just as easily been AC/DC's Back in Black. So B, that is Boston and Boston's debut record. C, we're going to go with The Clash, London Calling. D, we're going to go with Deep Purple and Made in Japan. Tied with Machine Head for my favorite Deep Purple album. So E, the Eagles' Long Run. Then this actually happens to be my favorite album from the Eagles. I know it's Hotel California and there's a couple of others, but for whatever reason, just The Long Run has always been my favorite Eagles album. So we're gonna go with the Eagles and The Long Run for E. F, Fleetwood Mac and Rumors. Just a great record. And really a very, very talented group as well. And G, we're going to go with Genesis, Seconds Out. My favorite record from Genesis happens to be The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, but Seconds Out is just a much more presentable copy than my Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Especially on video, it just shines and it's got a much higher gloss. So, Genesis, Seconds Out. H, Don Henley. This is a great album. This is just a great record. Building the Perfect Beast is a really, really solid record through and through. Henley's just a fantastic musician. He's one of the better writers. And so, under H, I grabbed Henley. I honestly, it was really not. I don't have a lot of bands to begin with. I could have gone with Billy Idol, but honestly, I think Iron Maiden is a band I'll listen to a little bit more than Billy Idol. Not one of the more presentable copies of Number of the Beast, but trust me, the record on this is damn near mint. The cover damage was what it was, but it's a great record and it just plays fantastic. And my son, who's a big Iron Maiden fan, is looking at it through the doorway going, wait, Dad has Iron Maiden? So, yeah. All right, Alta Jay. The Jam. This is a really great album from a really great pseudo-punk band. I consider them more of a new wave band than a punk band, but they're just a great band in general, and this is a great album. Tied. This is the only one I was really tied, and that is Joan Jett. So The Jam and Joan Jett, and I'm like, you know what? You don't have an X, to have two J's. So Joan Jett, I love rock and roll. Joan Jett is just such a great rocker, and she's she's also a New Yorker, and so that wins. But she's just a great rocker, and if you don't agree with me, she will literally come to your house and beat the hell out of you. So yeah, just agree with me. Joan Jett's a great rocker. On to K. The Kinks, Low Budget. If you've seen any of my videos, which I highlight the Kinks, or my top 100 or anything like that, this is my favorite Kinks album. Yes, I know it's their disco album. Yes, I know it's probably, but to me, it's one of their better written albums throughout. So the Kinks, Low Budget for K. L. Everyone's favorite gym teacher. Leonard Skinner. Street Survivors. I hair better than Second Helping for me. And maybe it's just because of the fact that they crashed after Street Survivors, or it could be that Street Survivors Term was the first Skinner album I listened to when I was a teen in high school and really got me into Southern rock and Skinner in particular. But it's just a tick better for me as far as my favorite Skinner albums than Second Helping. So Skinner, Street Survivors. M. A little bit of ska. Gotta have some ska in anything. Some Madness. One Step Beyond. Fantastic English band, ska band. Every ska band out of England seemed, and even the U.S., but I mean, for me, ska was an English creation. Take new wave and mix in reggae, a dash of new wave, some horns, and shake it all up, and you come up with ska. And Madness is the one band for M that I chose. Under N, I went with Nazareth, Hair of the Dog, my favorite album from Nazareth. Just a straightforward rock and roll band, pretty much in your face, but great album, great song, great album, great band. Holiday's a song on this album that got me into Nazareth to begin with. I decided to go with the Outlaws. Their version of Ghost Rider in the Sky is just, for me, phenomenal. And I know it's been done, and there's a lot of really, really good versions of Ghost Rider in the Sky. But the first time I ever heard Ghost Rider in the Sky was off the Outlaws album when it came out in, I guess it was 1979, 1980 when this album came out. And it was the first time I'd heard Ghost Riders in the Sky, and it got me into it, and it got me into Southern, and continued my journey into Southern rock. So under O, we're going to go with the Outlaws, Ghost Riders. P. To no one's surprise, Pink Floyd comes in at P. From the amazing psych group to a great rock group to just everything to, Writing the Wall, which they basically wrote a movie onto vinyl. So yeah, Pink Floyd definitely under P. Pipers at the Gates of Dawn, great album. Got into the early stuff late. Obviously, first album was Dark Side, followed by The Wall, Adam Hart, Mother, Uma Guma, and then just kind of went backwards until I started digging their early stuff, because I didn't really like their early stuff at first, but certainly appreciate the talent that they are. So, Pink Floyd for P. Q. Queen, News of the World. Both favorite band, favorite record from this band. I've talked ad nauseum about Queen. I'm not going to go into it any further. If you're a rock fan who doesn't know who Queen is, I'm sorry, you're not a rock fan. If you're a music fan who doesn't know who Queen is, shame on you. So, Q, Queen, News of the World. R, the boys from Rockaway, the Ramones. I guess I grabbed this album because it's the one I have. Road to Ruin is the one I have the most copies of, including this one, which is still sealed. But if I had to go with my favorite album, it'd have to be End of the Century. That was my favorite record. But I've shown that so many times I didn't want to show it again. So, the Ramones for R. S, we're going to go with Frankie. Frank Sinatra. Favorite album from Sinatra happens to be Strangers in the Night. But I just love this cover so much. And it's my only Sinatra 10-inch. So, for S, Frank Sinatra and Swing Easy, which is a great record as well. T is Three Dog Night. Just, under bands that knew exactly what a pop sound was supposed to be, these guys hit it out of the park every time. They had a knack for harmonizing and making that sound that you had just enough of a hook that if you like pop, you like Three Dog Night. That's it. I mean, they're synonymous with pop hits. So under T, we're going to go with Three Dog Night. I have you, was going to go with U2, then I was going to go with Uriah Heep, then I was going to go with U2, and then I didn't pull out either of the albums, so U2, Boy, is going to be the one I was going to go with. I listen to U2, I mean, Uriah Heep's cool, but when I really sit down and think about it, I just listen to U2 more than I listen to Uriah Heep. So V, moving right along, is going to be the Vapors. First new wave band I ever heard on the radio, turning Japanese. Went out and got the album and became a big fan of new wave because of the Vapors. And this came out in 1979, 1980. And was just, I guess I was 16, 17 when new wave really crested and hit in the States. And so this album was a must-have at the time. So V, the Vapors turning Japanese. Under W, we're going to go with War. Again, the who do I listen to more? The Who or War? The Who or War? Well, if I had been doing this 10 years ago, 15 years ago, hands down, it would have been the Who, The Kids Are All Right. That's the way it would have been. I wouldn't have really given a whole lot of consideration to War. But fast forward now, all these years later, my taste in music has expanded exponentially from being just a straightforward punk, classic rock and roll, to funk, and to certainly to jazz, and even to classical, because we got some Mozart on in the background here. But so, what I listen to the most if I grab a W, it's going to be War. So if W is War. Again, no Z, no X. So there is no X in my alphabet. So for Y, we're going to go with the Yardbirds. I listen to the Yardbirds more than I listen to Yes. And I listen to Yardbirds just a little bit more than I listen to the Yaz album, Upstairs at Eric's, which I absolutely adore. So the Yardbirds is going to grab my Y. And in conclusion, the Z. Warren Zevon. Zevon is an absolute master when it comes to lyrics. I love his lyrics. I love his ability to to just inject humor into his songs, but keep the music just so on point. So here we go, Warren Zevon. So that concludes my A to Z. It's a little longer than my normal ones, but let's face it, we went through an entire alphabet. Hope everyone is still doing well. We are now in week 5 of the New York pause. We're doing okay. Hopefully you're doing okay as well where you live, and everything in some of your states who have had a very low issue with viruses. I know that the states are starting to open back up again, trying to get back to normal. I hope your state is going to do so, and you're going to hopefully do it, because if you guys can figure out how to do it, that means the rest of us can follow suit, and we can kind of all get back to doing stuff that we enjoy. I mean, it's New York. I live on Long Island. We're a tourist community. Never mind the lost revenues or anything like that. We're a tourist community because we got beaches and water. And us locals love beaches and water too. So we want to get back out there, not just on our boats and go fishing, but hit the beaches and all the local spots that we all enjoy. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed my A to Z. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. The comment exchange is always what is most pleasurable to me. And if you like my videos and you've seen this one, or you want to watch a few of the other ones, you like them enough to subscribe, greatly appreciated. I try to subscribe back reciprocally. So have a great week all. Stay safe, have fun, and listen to some great music. Cheers.